Good morning, everybody. Hey, just a couple things. Apparently, somewhere in Kyoto, Japan, just some break. Well, I don't know if this is breaking news. It says world news. At least 33 dead after suspected arson attack at a Japanese animation studio. Interesting news. Who knows why anyone would do that, but we'll get into some news that's going to be happening today. Let's get into the intro, and we'll see in a bit. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, Dawg Knight. Stop the music. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, Marty, a.k.a. Dawg Knight, on the Dawg Knight channel. I do have my cup of reparations coffee ready to go. And let's get into it. I'm hoping I got the mic on. Yes, I do. No one said it. I don't have it on yet. I'm so sorry. Did not mean to do that. I needed one of those buttons that the kill switch buttons that turns the mic off. Anyway, hey, how's everyone doing this morning? It is FTG Thursday. We got some, we'll figure out who our FTGs are as we go along. But hey, good morning, everybody. First in the chat today was RVA, so RVA gets the bell. Yay, woohoo! And good morning, Smarty Bear, Kevin Duggan, Rolling Bear, Necrosaw Collins, Sarah, Kevin Duggan, and Seamus Derby. Oh, and Maddie, good morning. And Ronan Wolf, hello, how you doing? Sounds like, who's got to work today? Smarty Bear, you got to work today. That's okay. Lurk in the background. That's fine. We're glad you are here. So, I just wanted to do something real quick, and I made it the headline of my stream today. If you know what's going on with the actor Chris Pratt, I think you heard about this, I'm sure. Here you go. Chris Pratt shirt. Chris Pratt racist. So anyway, here's the deal. I'll put it on the screen here. So this is just something that was going around Twitter. Chris Pratt wore this shirt. Okay, it has this an American flag with the "Don't Tread on Me" symbol on it. Kind of a throwback to the Gadsden flag. It was a flag that I think there was a general in the Revolutionary War who made up the flag, and it was just talking about don't step on my rights. It's about having rights and getting away from the king. And so it's a classic revolutionary thing. Well, apparently he's been getting crapped on because of this flag. The shirt he was wearing. Let's see. Let me find something here. Okay, so Chris Pratt supports Trump, tells people to vote for Trump, people are saying he goes to an anti-LGBTQ church. That came up. That's stupid. Church has a history of child molestation. No. He brings his kid to the church, defends church, mock stands after they are upset about inappropriate. Oh, God. So they're all over this Gadsden War shirt. Okay. Oh God, this guy. It's been 154 years since you guys lost the Civil War. Who the fuck are you guys? Who are you guys? Now here's the thing. So here's the TMZ. This is Chris Pratt's "Don't Tread on Me" shirt. Has white supremacy ties and stirs debate. Now, so let's just go with the TMZ article because this is fucking stupid. It just pisses me off. So, Revolutionary War slogan racist? Please. Chris Pratt wore a shirt that repped the "Don't Tread on Me" flag, which has now been labeled by some idiots as racist and something that white supremacists use. But that's okay. At least okay. someone at TMZ's got a brain. But that's not entirely accurate. Here's the deal. Chris was out in LA with his wife, Catherine Schwarzenegger, earlier this week. And he was wearing a Navy t-shirt with the American flag on it and a rattlesnake superimposed, sitting atop the phrase, "Don't tread on me." It's a mashup of Old Glory and the Gadsden flag. Chris has been criticized over the past few days for repping the flag and the slogan originally created during the Revolutionary War as a message from the American colonies to England. It has since been adopted by the Tea Party and far-right political groups. Now, first of all, they're saying, okay, so the claim that some are making is this Gadsden flag, which was adopted by the Tea Party, the fact that they're calling the Tea Party a racist far-right political group. Now, if you remember when the Tea Party started, the actual Tea Party started during the George Bush administration, near the end of his administration, kind of as people saying, you know what, we don't need to bail out these banks. That's stupid. Okay, and then it kind of morphed into the Obama administration when they kept going strong during the Obama administration because Obama was trying to put together the what they call it, the ACA. Anyway, Obamacare. Okay, and so and then other far right political groups. Anyway. The Gadsden flag has been used by some white supremacists in recent years, most notably in 2014 when the bodies of 2 dead police officers were draped in the Gadsden flag that also bore swastikas. It's also been seen in the company of Confederate Nazi flags. Oh my gosh. Someone had them near some other flags that you hate. And then, oh my God, the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission ruled in 2016 that the flag alone could be viewed as racial harassment in the workplace. Depending on the context. While it noted the flag doesn't have racist origins, today it can be sometimes interpreted to convey racially tinged messages in some contexts. The agency called for further investigation. The reason why Chris Pratt is being called out might have to do with a Yahoo UK article that flat out called his wardrobe a white supremacist shirt, making the leap many other outlets wouldn't. Our take, Chris wearing the shirt doesn't mean he supports white supremacy or anything else hateful or extreme for that matter. He is, however, known as a conservative guy, and that's all there is to it. And we had this controversy about the Betsy Ross flag recently. Now, let's talk about the shirt that he's wearing, though. Because, all they had to do, maybe if they would have asked him about the shirt he was wearing. So let's go back into my Twitters here. I bookmarked this one. Let me find my bookmarks right here. All right, so here's... Oh, where did it do with it? Oh, no. Did somebody move it? Oh, crap. I thought I bookmarked it. Doggone it. Let's go Chris Pratt shirt. We're going to find this. We'll find it. All right, we'll go back and look at it again. All right, so, yeah, the Yahoo UK Yahoo revised their story after backlash over calling Chris Pratt's t-shirt white supremacist. Well, this is new. This is right at the top here. Let's look at this. Let's see how they revised their story. References to white supremacists in this article have been removed, Yahoo says in an updated story. This is by Linda Ellefson. Yahoo Moves UK on Wednesday updated the headline and text of a story, I'm going to right-click that, about Chris Pratt after backlash over online claims that the Avengers Endgame star wore a white supremacist t-shirt. This article was updated on 17 July with the initial headline, Chris Pratt criticized for white supremacist t-shirt, being amended to Chris Pratt criticized for t-shirt choice. References to white supremacism in this article have been removed, an update to the state reads. The British division of the news site came under fire for the Tuesday article about Pratt's decision to wear a shirt featuring a Gadsden flag or an American flag accompanied by a rattlesnake with the words, "Don't tread on me." As Fox News noted, that design was meant to symbolize liberty and freedom. Yeah, don't tread on my rights. But has been revived by the Tea Party in recent years. Well, that doesn't make it a white supremacist shirt either. The Tea Party was a bunch of old folks who cleaned up after themselves when they had rallies. The original Yahoo article embedded a handful of tweets from mostly anonymous users to suggest that people were angry over the actor's t-shirt design. But soon, the platform itself came under fire from prominent journalists and columnists. Washington Post senior political writer Aaron Blake wrote, "The media took a bold, largely unprecedented step this week to call Trump's tweets racist. Then Yahoo did its best to undermine the whole exercise." So the only reason they got under fire is because they couldn't call Trump racist anymore, or it watered down their calling Trump a racist. That's the only reason. That's the only reason they gave a shit. LA Times columnist Jonah Goldberg weighed in. "Shame on Yahoo for this trash. A handful of dumb Twitter comments isn't a news story, you clickbaiting parasites. There is nothing white supremacist about that t-shirt. It's like everyone wants to be stupid and make everything worse. Reps for Yahoo's parent company Oath have not responded to requests for comments." Now, fascinating. So let's look at the art. Let's see if the article here that Yahoo put up. Here's the shirt. Here's the article update. Yep, there it is. So again, just to tell it the same thing they just said. But here's the thing. That shirt it's interesting because it's a very, oh my God, I can't believe Joe Keighley knew that Chris Pratt was the worst white Hollywood Chris before the rest of us. His mind. Chris Pratt, you suck. People just pissed off at Chris Pratt. But you know what? This story... let me find this shirt, because this shirt came from somewhere. It's not just any old shirt. It's not any old Gadsden flag shirt. As soon as I find it, we're just gonna scroll till I find it, because there is this shirt actually came from something very specific, and it's the. Well, here, let me see if I'll just see if I can find it real quick. Sorry about that. I had it bookmarked, but I don't have it bookmarked anymore. So let's see. Hang on, I'll find it here. Gosh darn it! That's why you bookmark things. Kind of makes you wonder, though. You know, the people who the people who are most pissed off about that T-shirt, the same people who drive around in their Prius with the "Coexist" bumper sticker. Okay, coexist, right? Gosh darn, I want to see. Oh my gosh, Eric Spencer. It's been 154. I already read that one. 154 years since you guys lost the Civil War. Might be time to update your dictionaries to reflect that liberty isn't just for white people. You're a white male! You ass wipe! Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. So anyway, hang on. Anyway, the back. I want to show you the back of the shirt, which no one seems to be having on here. Here, let's do this. I'm gonna do a little DuckDuckGo shirt. How's everyone doing today, by the way? How is everyone doing? Let's see. Fight to maintain the Constitution. All right, hang on. I'll have to find. It was on my phone, so let me see if I can find it on my phone because I just looked it up today. Here we go. Brain Treatment Foundation. Sorry about this, folks. All right. Here it is. This shirt came from an organization known as the Brain Treatment Foundation. Why isn't... Okay, here we go. Oh, it's just my internet taking a little time here. Give me 1 second. How am I? I am doing well. I've got my coffee going. I've got the thing going, but for some reason my internet is crap today. Maybe we'll go to their Facebook page. It might be easier. Oh, something went wrong. Okay. Come on, internet. This computer's pissing me off. So anyway, if no one's showing the back of the shirt, that's what I'm looking for on Twitter today. And this is how I found out about it, because there was an organization that showed the back of the shirt. And the back of the shirt also has an American flag, and it has a logo for something called the Brain Treatment Foundation. Okay? And for some reason it's not... Here we go. All right. Sorry about this. Took a little bit. This is the Brain Treatment Foundation. This is the organization that gave him the shirt, and it's a shirt from this particular foundation. And what it is, well, let's see. Hope changes everything. Supporting the Brain Treatment Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit organization dedicated to providing support for brain health initiatives related to treatment, rehabilitation, research, and public education. The organization seeks to transform the lives of individuals suffering from the effects of a traumatic brain injury or concussion, children with mild to severe cognitive or neurological disorders, the elderly population dealing with physical and cognitive function decline, and members of the military diagnosed with post-traumatic stress or traumatic brain injury. The goal of the Brain Treatment Foundation is to partner with treatment providers and other organizations to restore hope and provide support for people suffering from brain-related health issues and their families through treatment, rehabilitation, research, and public education. Brain Treatment Foundation seeks to become an active agent of change in the world of brain health. Brain Treatment Foundation. Okay, all right, so I already said that. Now, in the donate thing, I think it's in here. Hopefully it is. So, Brain Treatment Foundation program is able to make a difference in the lives of those suffering from brain injuries and their families through contributions from caring people like you. This it was originally for people who had brain injuries while in the military, while deployed, and then they ended up they expanded this to be far much farther. Let's see, monetary donations benefit the reintegration of participants back into society and helps build confidence that has been lost due to traumatic health issue or lack of support. Brain Treatment Foundation not only connects and provides beneficiaries with programs that they need to succeed, BTF assists with the logistics and costs that are incurred through travel, lodging, and other expenses, which might otherwise prevent attendance of a treatment program. So they're helping people get to special treatment programs for brain injuries they have. So you have these donation levels and whatnot. I'm wondering if that shirt's in here. Unfortunately, it's not in here. But anyway, that shirt. Let's see if we can find this in here. That shirt is a shirt from the Brain Treatment Foundation, and I want to see if let's see, Brain Treatment. You're doing this with me, folks. Brain Treatment Foundation shirts. Images. these are not it. Okay, let's go back to just... Well, here's one. Here we go. Ha ha! U.S. breaking news. My internet's so slow today, or at least maybe it's just my computer. All right, at some point here, it'll click. My God, is my computer slow? Well, while we're waiting for that, let's see if I can find anything else on Twitter here. It's just the stupid shit that people are saying. I'm sure you aren't even aware by this or even bothered, but you still have to follow and support, even if you're swinging to the right. That's nobody's business but your own. Keep on making those great movies, Chris Pratt. What's the matter? Julie LMS can't take the heat for wrongfully trashing Chris Pratt for wearing a t-shirt you claimed was white supremacy. You're a piece of shit. Oh, yeah, funds from t-shirt sales funds veterans with brain tumors. Here, there's the Facebook link. I hope maybe this will pop up. Unfortunately, my computer's not refreshing very well. I probably have too many windows open. Lone survivor Marcus Luttrell and Forge take a stand for Chris Pratt and Gadsden Flag. So there's a lot of people actually supporting them too, supporting him. But so many people were out there, trashing Chris Pratt for this. God, none of my links are working. Holy shit, what's going on? Here's the brain. Here it is right here. Brain Treatment Foundation. We are honored to work with the silent warriors who sacrifice greatly so that others may live free, who defend our freedom, who live with honor and by the word of God. These warriors hunt evil to protect our peace, while those who disparage their sacrifices of our nation from behind a computer screen pretend it doesn't exist. We are proud of the American flag and all symbols that represent freedom brave men and women have shed blood for since the inception of our great country. Chris Pratt. Here's the back of the shirt he's wearing. Educate, rehabilitate, empower. BrainTreatmentFoundation.com. Also with a flag with "Don't Tread on Me" on the back. All right. So yeah, maybe it's not from that, but they have that same shirt, that same logo on the back of their shirt. So they're supporting Chris Pratt. I thought the shirt was from there. But anyway, they have the same damn thing. You know what I mean? So, whatever. So the Brain Treatment Foundation tells all those knuckleheads to pound sand. All right, moving on. Let's get into a little news today, guys. Let me see what's going on in the chat here. Sleep Sun, anything in here that I need to know? Morning Night Live. Oh, yeah, by the way, the Morning Night Live is brought to you by you, the viewers of the Morning Night Live. Thank you for being here. Hey, hit the share button. Down here. Share button. That little arrow that curves up that way, okay? The little share button. You can share this out on Twitter. You can share it out on Facebook. You can share it out on Minds, Gab, whatever. By the way, like I said yesterday, I'm also putting this out on Minds and Gab. Now, the Gab account I have is, I don't think I really used it since I opened it. But they've made a lot of changes at Gab. They've decentralized everything, and I don't know. Twitter's getting kind of weird, and other social media. So I think it's important that you diversify. Now, Gab is somewhat known as the right-wing, alt-right social media platform, but I think they're doing some things that I don't know that could make it more viable. Just the fact that it's really decentralized. It's not one server. It makes it almost I wouldn't say completely uncensorable, but it's definitely an open platform. And some people I don't follow that many people on it, so I don't know. But And same with Minds.com. I've had a Minds.com almost since it started, and I've barely used it. And I know there's a lot of people like Styx Hexenhammer uses it a lot, and Tim Pool. There's a lot of people who use Minds a lot more. But anyway, I'm trying to branch out. I don't use Facebook hardly at all, and I probably won't. I barely use it for family stuff. But anyway, share. That's my point. Share. Be sharing. Sharing is caring. And then also, if you haven't done already, if you like what I do, hit the like button. If you don't like what I do, hit the don't like button or whatever. But hit something. Hit a button. Do something. All right? And then if you want to do super chats, we also do super chats through the Streamlabs link down below, and also in the chat. Sarah put that in there, so there you go. Kevin Duggan, what's up? Let's see. Sarah, I am not spamming. I'm trying to tell you, the host, not you. Don't block. Yeah, don't block Kevin. Abigail Disney and George Soros found a way to promote free college for all, funded by you, the voter, with Disney leading by example. Now, what does that mean? Disney will have free college for all funding by George Soros. Interesting. Okay. I thank you. I thank you, Sarah and Kevin. I got to look that up. Yeah, you don't have to, don't worry, guys. Hey, low stress in the chat, okay? Low stress in the chat. I know Kevin was just trying to get my attention, and it's all good. Y'all be cool, okay? I get it. All right. Anyway, all right. Just everybody chill. We're good. All right. I'll look that one up, Kevin. Thank you. All right. Okay. No. Okay. Well, I know, but I hear you. Okay, we're all good. Anyway, if you really need something heard, feel free to throw it in the super chat. I mean, for as little as $1, you can put it in $1 or whatever, and I'll make sure. But thank you. And Kevin, do me a favor. If you have a link to what you are talking about, send it to my DMs on Twitter, or you can email it to me at pdawgknight@gmail.com. Okay, so there you go. All right, so let's get in. Let's see. Let's do some. I'm not going to do Twitter trends yet. By the way, thank you, Rollingberg and Necrosol Collins and Sarah again for tweeting out the link to the stream. Appreciate it. All right, we're done with Chris Pratt. But yeah, Yahoo revised that story. Yeah, it's just, my God, it's just, people want everything to have a phobia to it. Everyone wants an ist or a phobia. You can't do anything without it being racist or homophobic or xenophobic or, anti this or anti that. Maybe, just maybe, people are just living their lives and not even worrying about your favorite hang up or your favorite thing that you are or your favorite identity. People really don't care about identity. Does anyone live their lives? I'm going to go to the grocery store, but I have to worry if there's a trans person there. Or do I have to worry if there's someone gay or a different color than me? It's all about, I get tired of everyone trying to create fear in order to be relevant or becoming or trying to be a victim to be more relevant. You know what? I don't care what your race is, your ethnicity, your country of origin, or whatever. All I care about is, are you going to be a good person? Are you a good person to me? Are you respectful? Can we live in harmony or just live side by side, even if not interacting, but just parallel lives without bugging for me for any reason? All right. Good morning, Irish Rose. I see you just popped in. It's funny because I've been listening to the news the last couple of days, and obviously most of the media is very anti-Trump. And so their mantra right now is that he wants to he wants to divide us. And and these people just want to make us whole. Well, I don't agree with you people who want to make us whole. Okay? But because you're the ones who's dividing everyone up into tiny little this and that's. When you have the squad chirping on Nancy Pelosi, who's supposed to be in your party, but chirping on her, making it like she's attacking women of color. Well, you just divided yourself to create disharmony. You just divided yourself by claiming that Nancy Pelosi is against you for women of color. Okay? So you're the ones creating discord by accusing her of being racist without saying the word racist. So anyway. So what's happening in the news? Let's talk about a little bit about yesterday. So the House yesterday attempted there was a resolution in Congress again, this for the third time, to impeach the president. And I don't know the guy. What's his name? What's the congressman's name? He's a congressman from Texas. And hold on here. So here you go. Sorry for this thing here. I didn't have it pulled up. And everything's slow here. Okay, so from the Daily Caller. House tables vote to consider articles of impeachment for Trump. The House of Representatives voted Wednesday against a measure to begin impeachment process against President Donald Trump, the first necessary step to remove the president from office. The House voted 332 to 95 as Texas Democratic Representative Al Green introduced the resolution after the House voted to condemn Trump over his go-back comments towards 4 freshman House Democrats. In March, Green spoke with Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi when he vowed to force a vote to impeach Trump. Green, who has previously had several other bills to impeach Trump get overwhelmingly rejected by the House, said in an interview with C-SPAN that he is pushing for a third impeachment vote one day after Pelosi said in an interview of her own that impeachment was just not worth it. However, before the most recent vote on Wednesday, Pelosi told reporters on Capitol Hill in a press conference, "I don't know what we will do," adding, "We will deal with it on the floor." Later, Pelosi told reporters there are 6 committees that are working on following the facts. That is the serious path that we are on. Green mentioned obstruction of justice, violation a violation of the Constitution's Foreign Emoluments Clause. Remember, that particular lawsuit got thrown out of the courts. A violation of the Constitution's Domestic Emoluments Clause? Nope. Undermining the federal judiciary process? How did he do that? Undermining the press? That's not against the law. Undermining the press? How did he Okay. Undermining the press. So he talks bad about the press and that's undermining the press? Have we ever had a president talk bad about the press before? I could have sworn that, didn't President Obama constantly bash Fox News? They're the press. Oh, those are the press that you guys don't like. I'm sorry. But, it's funny because I don't recall President Trump, has he thrown any journalists in jail yet? Has he bugged their phones? Has he had, people spying on them? I don't think so. Oh, except, unless you count Julian Assange. Bad topic. as the reasons for wanting to impeach Trump, although he presented no evidence to back up these claims. All Republicans voted to table the bill, and 137 Democrats voted with the Republicans. So it was a bipartisan effort. Let's just get the facts. Tabling a bill in Congress is basically killing it because it ain't coming back. So, yeah, fascinating there. 137 Democrats voted against it. Probably a good idea. However, also in the House yesterday, they did hold a vote on William Barr. And that one passed. I'm wondering if Barr actually gives a crap, but we'll see. The House of Representatives voted Wednesday to hold Attorney General William Barr and Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross in criminal contempt of Congress for withholding information about the administration's attempt to add a citizenship question to the 2020 census. Oh my God. The House voted 230 to 198 after scheduling the vote because Barr and Ross withheld documents that had been subpoenaed by the Oversight and Reform Committee as part of its probe into the origins of the citizenship question. Since the U.S. Attorney's Office is run by Barr, it is unlikely any further legal action will be pursued. On Wednesday, Ross called the contempt vote silly, adding, "This is just more political theater. It really doesn't have any substantive basis." Chairman of the House Oversight and Reform Committee, Elijah Cummings, said that Congress is doing its job by holding the contempt vote to hold the Trump administration accountable, the Associated Press reported. The Trump administration claimed that the only reason it wanted to add the citizenship question was to help the Department of Justice enforce the Voting Rights Act, but that claim has now been exposed as a pretext, Cummings said. Cummings added that Ross and other White House officials have, quote, refused to answer questions about the real reasons behind the effort, end quote, to add the citizenship question, and that, quote, the mounting evidence points to a partisan and discriminatory effort to harm the interests of Democrats and non-white voters. Okay. Let's just think about that. Let's just think about that, okay? How does a citizenship question on the census, we used to have the citizenship on the questions until, I think, what was it, it was on every census until 1960. And then it was on the the long form census until the 2010 census, when they went strictly to a short form where they took it off. So it's been on the census for, almost 200 years. Or at least, 100 years. Yeah, well over 100 years it's been on the census. Okay? Now, in all that time, why would it be a partisan and discriminatory effort to harm interests of Democrats and non-white and non-white voters? Let's put it this way. I'm a non-white voter, okay? And if you count non-citizens on your census to get apportionment for the, for representatives in Congress, and I'm a non-white citizen in a state that's smaller, that doesn't have an influx of new residents that are not citizens, I'll just be kind with that, then they get overcounted in that state, and I lose some of my own reputation. I could lose my representation, my state's representation. That would be harming the interest of a non-white voter that's not a Democrat. In a joint letter to Pelosi before the vote, Barr and Ross criticized the House Committee on Oversight and Reform, saying the House is undermining interbranch comity with degrading and constitutional separation of powers and its own institutional integrity. We write to strongly oppose the pending resolution of the Committee of Oversight and Reform concerning the decisions to reinstate the citizenship question on the 2020 census. It is unfortunate that in spite of our department's substantial efforts to accommodate the committee's interests, the committee and now the House of Representatives has chosen to go forward with an unjustified contempt vote regarding a citizenship question that, as you know, will not be asked on the 2020 census questionnaire, the two stated in the letter. It's not even going to be on. Oh my God. So they want to know what these people drive me crazy. These people are nuts. It's just anything they could do to be a gadfly in the administration. It's because they want to try and make everything clearly the biggest topic in the next election, especially regarding the president, is going to be racism. Okay? But have they played? I think they played that card to death. That's why like they said, the Washington Post criticized the people dragging Chris Pratt over that Gadsden flag shirt and bringing up that as racism just after they make a resolution accusing the president of racism because they see it's an overused term. It's just amazing. Other headlines. This question: why is no one discussing the drug trafficking aspect of our southern border crisis? The president does all the time. Here, we can get the beginning of that article. The sheer scope of the systemic, all-encompassing sovereignty crisis at our southern border is staggering. Oh, good Lord, more Ice Bay. From a constitutional philosophical perspective, the federal government has no more important responsibility to its citizenry than securing the border. Period. From a national security perspective, it is stupefying to ponder the reality that we are releasing tens of thousands of barely vetted aliens into the interior each month due to a brutal combination of catch and release tomfoolery, limited bed space due to the underfunding of immigration and customs enforcement, the underfunding that the Democrats don't want to do, and then complain that there's overcrowding, and the erroneously decreed Flores settlement. Indeed, we know from the intrepid reporting of journalist extraordinary Tom Bensman that the predominantly Central American fleeing economic migrants have no shortage of dangerous Middle Easterners mixed in among them. Furthermore, we're letting in no shortage of migrants afflicted with deadly diseases. That's why we have to keep track of who's coming to the country. One, we need to know who they are, what their issues are, if they're not allowing criminals in the country. Two, people are coming in with diseases that we haven't seen in decades, and we're seeing outbreaks of diseases in places where we're like, what, who, polio, what? Or other things. Polio, I just threw that out, pulled that out of my butt. Good morning, Lindsay. How you doing? Anyway, from a crime perspective, we know that non-citizen aliens commit a disproportionate share of federal crime. 44.2% of it over the course of 2011 and in 2016, according to statistics from the U.S. Sentencing Commission. And from a pure common sense perspective, it ought to make sense that vulnerable, unaccompanied alien youth showing up at our border would be more susceptible to recruitment by MS-13 and other Central American originating transnational gangs. In fact, both MS-13 and the cartels operate so fluidly throughout the U.S. due in no small part to the ongoing surfeit of prospective gangsters and drug mules who reach our border and are released into the interior, considering this harrowing story out of Los Angeles. Ultraviolet MS-13 group entered the U.S., then... Here, I'll put the link here. Ultraviolet MS-13 gang entered the U.S., then stalked L.A. with blades and bats. One by one, the victims were lured to remote locations, an abandoned building in downtown Los Angeles, an empty rooftop in Hollywood, a quiet park in San Fernando Valley. Each was accused of a transgression against the notorious MS-13 street gang. Each would meet their end in a manner federal investigators described as medieval. In one case, court record shows a 16-year-old boy was lured into a canyon and beaten to death in 2017. His body went undiscovered for so long that his remains wound up charred in a wildfire, according to the coroner's records. Earlier that year, another man suspected of defacing an MS-13 graffiti tag was abducted and dragged into Angeles National Forest. 6 gang members cut him apart with machetes, according to prosecutors, who alleged that one cut out his heart. Gruesome slayings were among the 7 Los Angeles area murders linked to the Fulton clique of MS-13. In the last 2 years, according to an indictment unsealed Tuesday that charges 22 members of the gang, most of them in connection with first-degree murder and racketeering. The sweeping 78-page indictment marks the latest salvo between California law enforcement and the notorious gang, which was formed decades ago in Los Angeles and has reluctantly escalated its violent tactics to increase power, investigators said. MS-13 has also become a bogeyman used by President Trump to justify stronger immigration enforcement by linking the issue to crime. 19 of the 22 defendants charged in the indictment had entered the country illegally in the last 4 years, says Tom Mrazek, a spokesman for the U.S. Attorney's Office in Los Angeles. Several of the victims described in the indictment were also new arrivals from the U.S. To the U.S. from Central America, officials said. These gang members sought out young victims in their teens and early 20s who were new to this country. Many had recently emigrated from El Salvador and Honduras. They were alone, looking to fit in with others from native countries, said Los Angeles County District Attorney Jackie Lacey, whose office will prosecute several of the defendants on murder charges at the state level. But instead, they met their demise quickly at the hands of gang members who preyed on them. So, yeah, but you know what? Anytime Trump brings up MS-13, oh no, he's just exaggerating. It doesn't happen. You know, it's a big problem in Long Island, New York, too. It's a big problem in certain areas of the country. And these new immigrants who are here coming through illegal are susceptible to it. Like you said, they're from, it's mostly from Central American people. It's frustrating to even talk about. Let's see, what else we got? Assaults against CPB agents rising. Few attackers prosecuted. Yep, they're assault on Border Patrol. You know what's really weird though? What's really weird, and I don't like this tactic when people do this. Someone brought up a racial murder in Arizona, and why aren't people talking about this? You haven't heard about it. That's why, because it was a local story. But there was just recently should I call it I suppose you could call it a terrorist attack, an Antifa attack. We read about it the other day. The guy in Washington, out near, I think it was in Tacoma, in a detention facility. You know, he went in there with a homemade guns and Molotov cocktails, fire bombs, whatever, burned up a car, tried to burn up a tank, and he got killed, right? Terror attack against an ICE facility, an ICE detention facility. Have you heard much about that over the last few days? Like, have you heard much about it on, did you hear about it on any of the mainstream news? Did you hear about it on Twitter? Like, all the Antifa, apologists, did you hear any of them talking about it? Any of them condemning it? Have you even heard people asking them to condemn it? And I'm not going to do that because I hate it when, someone brings up some obscure crime and then demands that, you conservatives, see what happened here? This is a racist, blah, 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 and you need to condemn it. Well, I didn't even fucking hear about it. But do you hear anybody talking about that? It just seems like it just seems like that was the forgotten other than Talcum X making him into a martyr. Yeah, and oh my gosh, and Talcum X is still making him into a martyr. There are people celebrating that guy. Now, could you imagine if he had been successful and not only had killed maybe a couple of officers, but killed a bunch of the people who were being held there? You know, I mean, that is absolutely a terrorist act. Are you kidding me? All right, what else here? Democrats shift from supporting legal immigration to urging open defiance of U.S. law. Yeah, So the ICE raids the other day, or the ICE raids that supposedly have started, or whatever. I mean, you got to remember the raids that they're doing. They're going and looking for people who already have a court-ordered deportation order. Okay? It's not like they're just going out and randomly rounding up brown and black people saying, get the fuck out. No! They are seeking specific people who already have a deportation order. And it seems like some of the people on the Democratic side have gone to they're shifting from supporting legal immigration to defying U.S. law. Here's an article, John Tobin. Part of the problem involved with the raids that Immigration Custom Enforcement agents were scheduled to carry out on Sunday was presidential hype. President Donald Trump has been using the prospect of a massive effort to arrest illegal immigrants as part of a standoff with House Democratic leadership. During the negotiations between the administration and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, Trump postponed the sweep at least once. Yes, because they were going to come to the table and do something about this immigration problem. Someone's going to write a bill, but they haven't done it. But after House Democrats, with the conspicuous exception of the Squad, led by Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, the New York Democrat, voted for funding to alleviate the desperate situation at the border after a massive surge of illegal immigrants crowded detention facilities, Trump ordered the raids to commence. Both sides are exaggerating. To judge by the president's boast and the avalanche of statements from Democrats denouncing the raids, you might think ICE is in the process of trying to round up all of the estimated 11 million illegal immigrants in the country and then ship them all back to their countries of origin. Indeed, the dramatic denunciations of the raids by Democratic presidential candidates, members of Congress, and mayors and governors of so-called sanctuary cities and states more than matched Trump's hyperbole. These Democrats depicted the raids as extraordinarily cruel towards illegally present foreigners, describing families as living in terror of a knock at the door in terms that were once reserved for visits by the Gestapo or the KGB. They universally decried the fate of apprehending illegal immigrants as unjust and pitiable. As when the administration vainly sought to deter the flow of illegal immigrants by a policy of zero tolerance in which those illegally crossing the border with children were arrested. Both mainstream media and Democrats portrayed the prospect of ICE separating families. Oh no, don't separate families. Like Kamala Harris did when she was the Attorney General of the state of California. As unpardonably cruel and insensitive. ICE's efforts to track down illegal immigrants earned it not just opprobrium, who uses that word, from Trump's critic, but widespread calls for its abolition, with Ocasio-Cortez characteristically going one step further with a demand for the end of the Department of Homeland Security. Oh, that's dramatic. But the truth is about these raids is far less dramatic than the rhetoric being heard on either side of the political divide. Anyway, the point of this story is that, you know what, they're out there looking for about 2,000 illegal immigrants. None of the targets were randomly chosen, and they weren't supposed to be, they're not trying to inspire terror. They had specific court orders for specific people. Just like it says in this article, it's a drop in the bucket towards the actual number of people that are here illegally. It's funny. Here's the other thing. So the other day I was going through Twitter and someone was talking about, oh, this racist policy. They never track down any, they never go and, it's always the brown people. It's just the brown people. Were you aware that the deportation of illegal immigrants from Ireland last year was a record high? Now, granted, it was only like 30 people, but they were deporting people. They deported 30 people from Ireland last year that were here illegally. I know they deport people from Nigeria. Now, nope, black and brown. So let me go there. They've deported people from the former Baltic states who are here illegally. It's not about black and brown people. It's about if you're here in the country illegally without proper authorization from our government. Okay? Just not. Speaking of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, she's been pretty silent about that old terror attack too. In fact, a couple people were trying to chase her down. AOC silent after Antifa terrorist echoes her concentration camp rhetoric on ICE centers. Yeah, pretty much. Well, here you go. Last weekend, a 69-year-old man armed with a rifle threw incendiary devices at an Immigration and Customs Enforcement detention center in Tacoma, Washington. Police killed him, but not before he ignited a car and tried to get a propane tank to explode. The man, later identified as Willem Van Spransen, had written a manifesto condemning ICE detention centers as, quote, concentration camps. Echoing Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Ocasio-Cortez refused to condemn Van Spransen's attack when confronted in the halls of Congress. PJ Media reached out to her office and she refused to comment before press time. Now, again, it's a tweet. She gets millions of tweets. So when they say, I hate it when any news media says, the person they're trying to reach refused to comment. Half the time they give them a chance to, and I'm not knocking PJ Media, I'm not saying they necessarily did this, but depending on how you reach out to people makes a big difference. I remember recently, who was it that, Steven Crowder. When Steven Crowder and Carlos Maza were having their little blow up, and one of the news outlets wrote a big old hit piece on Steven Crowder. And they said, we attempted to reach Mr. Crowder for comment, but he did not respond. And their reaching out to Mr. Crowder meant that a half hour before they published their story, they sent an inquiry to the Crowder merchandise store. They sent an inquiry to the Crowder merchandise store, which they didn't really find until a day or two later. Instead of he had media contacts listed on his website, and yet they sent an inquiry to his merchandise store. So when everyone says, their office refused to comment, I take it with a grain of salt just in case. But in this case, there have been reporters going through the halls of Congress, and she did not, asking her directly, and she didn't make any comment. I am Antifa, Van Spransen said in his manifesto shortly after the attack and the terrorist death. The group Seattle Anti-Fascist Action hailed the terrorist as a martyr. Isn't a martyr supposed to be a hero? Interesting. When our good friend and comrade Willem Van Spransen took a stand against the fascist detention center in Tacoma, he became a martyr who gave his life to the struggle against fascism. The Antifa group posted on Facebook, "He was kind and deeply loved by many communities. We cannot let his death go unanswered." Wow. That's interesting. We cannot let his death go unanswered. Throughout history, we idolize figures like John Brown. They're comparing this dude to Brown. Amazing. For their courage to take the ultimate stand against oppression. And today we stand strong in our support for yet another martyr in the struggle against fascism. I should just ring the bell for the buzzwords. May his death serve as a call to protest and direct action. In the manifesto obtained by KIRO7, Vance Bronson condemned various forms of evil, writing, "Evil says concentration camps for folks deemed lesser are unnecessary. How about people who broke a law? The Handmaid of Evil says that concentration camps should be more humane. Beware the centrist." Oh my gosh. So they're just more on his manifesto there. But the interesting part is he's using the language of Ocasio-Cortez. Let's see. The terrorist seems to have been inspired by rhetoric comparing these centers to Holocaust concentration camps. Starting in June, Ocasio-Cortez used those exact words to describe the ICE detention centers. She cited Holocaust experts to justify the comparison and praised Never Again Action activists for breaking the law in protesting an ICE detention center. And so this is her tweet. She originally took pains to make the distinction between concentration camps and Nazi death camps, but concentration camps are closely associated both with death camps and the Holocaust. Okay, according to Merriam-Webster Dictionary. When asked about the attack in Washington State, she remained silent. And here's the rebel media was there. Here's the video for that.
Will you condemn Antifa for the attack in Washington?
We'll be making statements.
It's easy to condemn a terrorist attack. Will you be condemning Antifa?
We'll be making statements.
They firebombed an American facility. Will you condemn them?
Excuse us, we have to get to the finish.
Will you be condemning them? Do you feel like you have some responsibility in the attack with your rhetoric about concentration camps? Are you responsible? Do you feel ashamed?
Interesting. I mean, the Gonzo journalism thing, but So anyway, she's not doing that. She's not. It's no one's. It's fascinating. Whenever something. Hey, Marsupial Gaming, how you doing? Gamer, how you doing? Oh, HB's on. I'll have to go check him out too. Hard bastard. I'm only on for another half hour here. It's so strange. Whenever someone that supposedly, like for example, let's take the one they bring up constantly, the jackass that killed Heather Heyer with his car. I don't think anybody on the right had any problem condemning that. Okay. Now some, were talking about, she might have had a heart attack, this, that, whatever. But whatever. Still, people condemned the guy driving the car into the place, into the people. Okay. No, you're right, RVA. No, they don't take responsibility. Are you serious? She, everyone's talking about how Trump's rhetoric is dangerous. Well, is her rhetoric dangerous? And so, oh God. Speaking of which, did y'all see that rally yesterday in North Carolina? Now it's almost like everyone. Let me think of a good phrase for this, because this is an analogy. Everyone's stepping on their own dick. Okay? First of all, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and the squad accuse Nancy Pelosi of attacking women of color by, singling them out for whatever stupidity they do. So those guys are fighting, right? So the best thing, again, I'm going to say, you're going to hear this phrase a lot. When someone else is punching themselves in their own face, go stand in the neutral corner till they remember who they're supposed to be fighting. So those guys are fighting amongst each other. Then Trump does the stupid thing about going back, go back to whatever. And whether you think it was a racist thing or not, and I personally, probably in Trump's mind, it wasn't intended as racist, even though it could be considered a microaggression or something. He's just saying, you know what, I'm sure that was directed pretty much just at Ilhan Omar, who I've never heard, other than the words she's saying, she'll say the words, "I love this country," but I've never once heard her say a positive thing about this country. And maybe that's the problem. It's not that she may love this country. She may appreciate the fact that she escaped a shithole called Somalia and is in a country where she has been able to go to school and been able to become prominent and get elected to Congress and not be in that shithole country that is just a disaster. And I'm pretty sure when the president made that statement, even though he said plural congresswomen, I'm pretty sure it was directed at her because she never has anything good to say about this country. Everything about this country is bad. It's racist. It's this and that. And, now she's on a BDS kick, with Israel. So anyway, he just blew that. And so then they come back again, and so they rip into him, and then they go back to ripping on Nancy Pelosi, and the Congress fails at this impeachment thing, and so he gets in this rally, and now the people are out there, he mentions her name, and they're like, send her back, send her back. Now, I know that was just people being funny, just like they were with with Hillary Clinton. Lock her up. In a way, it's just something funny to yell, but the optics are terrible. So now they're stepping on their dicks. And then, oh my God. Can anyone just take a win and shut the hell up? Lindsay, I'm not disagreeing with you. But I'm just saying, anyway, can anyone just shut the hell up? I don't know why I got into that. Y'all, let's see what's going on Twitter, because I'm running behind, even though there's a whole bunch more headlines I wanted to look at. Let's see, what else? Let's see, what are some of the main things? Let's see. Liberals cheer as Antifa violence escalates. I watched there was an interesting video by these guys called The Serfs on Andy No. And, Andy No is the reporter, the journalist, or whatever he calls himself, that got beat up in Portland, which I agreed that he had there was no reason to attack him, and he got injured. I don't know how. It's funny. The people on the left who hate Andy No are total Antifa, pro Antifa, saying he just got hit with milkshakes. Well, it's video evidence he was getting punched and beat up, whatever, besides just milkshakes. It wasn't just freaking milkshakes. Let me give you one caveat about Andy No. Andy No, spends most of his time hanging out with Patriot Prayer, which I have no problem with Patriot Prayer. All right. But he kind of, he kind of puts himself in those dangerous situations. So, he got attacked. I'm not blaming him for getting attacked. There's no reason he should have been attacked. But his situational awareness probably needed to be, a little stronger than it was, knowing where he was. He probably should have been, even though he attempts to be a gadfly, and this time it got him into trouble and got him beat up. Now he raised a bunch of money off of it, whatever, for his medical bills and whatnot, and he's going to sue some people. I don't know. But anyway, so he's in here. What's he saying? Something about liberals cheer as Antifa violence escalates. Now, he wrote this for the New York Post. In the early hours of Saturday, police in Tacoma, Washington rushed to the local Immigration and Customs Enforcement facility. An armed man was firebombing the building and nearby vehicles. Police killed him in a shootout after he attempted to set off a large propane tank connected to the facility. Antifa social media accounts subsequently identified their fallen comrade as Willem Vance Bronson. The underreported incident marks a new chapter in the return of armed left-wing terrorism to the United States. It also triggered a flash of memory in my mind. I had crossed paths with Vance Bronson in December when a group of rifle-carrying Antifa militiamen tried to prevent me from filming their protest outside Seattle City Hall. Little did I know then that I would soon have more immediate encounter with Antifa violence. 2 weeks ago, I was left hospitalized, yada, yada, yada. We know what happened to Andy. Let's see. Though known for their hallmark mask and black uniforms, Antifa wasn't a formal centralized group. Its members operate as a loose grouping of militant Marxists and anarchists drawn from various autonomous far-left groups. Political violence is a feature, not a bug, of Antifa, which believes itself to be the existential struggle with latter-day fascism. I still, I get so tired of that freaking word. And I just want to know, I'm going to start asking people from now on when we get in arguments about Antifa and fascists. I want them to specifically name which fascists they're talking about and what exactly makes them fascists. Because I think about a group like, for example, Patriot Prayer. That's who the Antifa seems to fight with out in Portland all the time. Patriot Prayer is just a tradcon, traditional, flag-loving, America-loving group of people. They're multiracial. They are, but they, for whatever reason, because they have their rallies out in Portland, they have this symbiotic relationship with Antifa out there. But fascist? Hardly. Not by any definition that I've been looking at over the last few days. The worst part is how prominent media figures and politicians glamorize and even promote Antifa as a movement for a just cause. CNN's Chris Cuomo and Don Lemon have defended Antifa on air. Chuck Todd invited Antifa ideologue Mark Bray on Meet the Press to explain why Antifa's political violence is ethical. Keith Ellison, our Attorney General in the great state of Minnesota, good God, gleefully posted and recently deleted a selfie of himself holding Bray's Antifa handbook. Representative Maxine Waters met hard-left political operative Joseph Alcoff in 2016. Alcoff is currently facing felony charges for his alleged involvement in an Antifa mob beating of 2 Marines in Philadelphia. Oh, yeah, the other thing is people like to say, oh, they're just throwing milkshakes. All right, have you watched the news in the last 5 years? Even this thing I watched, it was actually a very well-produced video. I think they're called the Surfs, something like that. Their big thing, well, Antifa hasn't killed anybody. In all these rallies, nobody's gotten killed. Not for a lack of trying. I mean, if you've seen some of the injuries that some of these people have, or just the beating they take, bike lock dude. He very easily could have killed that guy by hitting him on the head with a bike lock. The dude, everyone talks about Andy No, because Andy No got all the press after this last incident in Portland. But what about the 2 guys who, one guy got just the shit kicked out of him, is bleeding all over his face, and the other guy had like 100 stitches in his head because they were hitting him with metal poles just for trying to help some little dude in a dress try to circumvent the crowd, and they attacked him. And the other guy trying to help him got attacked too. How come But it was just milkshakes. Oh, it's just milkshakes. Oh, they're just throwing milkshakes at you. You fucking assholes. And you know, the guys, these two Marines that got beat up in Philadelphia. The last choice of targets, Marines, was no accident. Antifa operates by a very broad definition of fascist. Oh, you think? By Antifa's telling, fascists include mainstream conservatives and even centrist journalists who dare criticize them, but they save most of their hatred for U.S. law enforcement and military service members. Antifa's goal is violent political revolution, and it sees law enforcement officers and the military as the main obstacles. Let's see. Let me skip through this. Oh, yeah. In the Pacific Northwest, where Antifa is especially active, the group has continually targeted ICE. Last summer, the local ICE building in Portland faced a 5-week siege that shut down the facility. Why? Antifa seeks to destabilize and destroy the nation state by attacking its sovereign borders. And the group draws morale from mainstream progressive politicians such as Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who normalize hatred of border enforcement and sovereignty as such. Vance Bronson, last week, Antifa firebomber, expressed disdain for the state in a manifesto attributed to him on Seattle Anti-Fascist Action's Facebook page. It has since been deleted. He allegedly wrote, I am Antifa, and referred to ICE centers as concentration camps, language taken directly from AOC. And then, you know, the Antifa action people, again, treating him as a martyr. That's enough of that article. You got the point. Let's check Twitter trends because I got to get going here. So I'm sorry. I'm kind of all over the place today. I don't know, whatever. So what's going on in the world? Let's find out what's going on in the world. What are people talking about today that you're going to hear about later in the day? Now, it's interesting. The number one trending item on Twitter today is I stand with Ilhan, or I stand with Ilhan Omar. Twitter moments. Using the hashtag I stand with Ilhan, elected officials and other public figures are pledging their support for Representative Ilhan Omar after Trump supporters chanted "Send her back" during a rally in North Carolina. Oh, yes! Because that was, I do, okay, let me just say this. It can be concerning because, hundreds of thousands or millions of people see that, and there is some lone knucklehead who's going to try to do something stupid, right? Now, I could also make that argument when Sean King goes out and promotes this villain, whatever his name is, as a martyr for the quote concentration camps. Some lone idiot is going to go out and do something. Same with AOC. Her rhetoric of concentration camps. 2.5 years of calling Trump, treasonous, or a Russian operative, a traitor. You've got this constant drum beating against people left and right, and that can be dangerous. Okay, maybe perhaps it's now someone's got to scale it back a little bit. But I stand with Ilhan. I'm pretty sure the top ones, Twitter's not going to let anything trend that's anti-Ilhan Omar. Linda Sarsour. Oh, her grace is remarkable. A true warrior. Business Insider. Business Insider, I've noticed that they have a very left bend. A lot of people try to throw articles from Business Insider at me saying, see, even a business newspaper is talking, the way I am. I'm like, Business Insider is not a conservative website. I don't know why you're always throwing that shit at me. Dear America, she doesn't have to go back to where she came from because this is her home. She is American. She isn't going anywhere. It's fascinating. She may be under indictment soon for other things, but I'm going to go back. So now I stand with Ilhan and I stand with President Trump are trending. It's pure tribalism. It doesn't matter who said what or why. You have to pick a team and stick with it no matter what. I don't stand with any of you drones. I'll continue to think for myself. Thanks a bunch. Hey, how about that? That's Jim Treacher, or JTLOL. Funny he says that, because I was just thinking about this today too. I am a person who tends to. Now, I have heavy conservative leanings, okay, but I can't, like, let's put it like this, for example, people who carry a Trump flag, or someone who carries an Obama flag, the O, or I cannot tie myself to the personality of a president, no matter if I like them or not. I mean, I really, like, for example, I really appreciated Ronald Reagan when he was president. But I could not wear a shirt with Ronald Reagan's picture on it, though. I can't get in that cult of personality. And so, I guess that's why, because I've always thought, maybe I should buy a MAGA hat, not because I appreciate Trump for the good things he does, but I can't, and I wanted to wear a MAGA hat just to see the reaction of people more than anything. But I can't do it because I always want to reserve the right to be able just to criticize that person, whether I like them or not. And I just don't, I just don't get it, And I'm not knocking people who are very loyal to Trump. Good for them, But I've never understood. The people who were just swooning over Obama, and they still have their O bumper stickers, and they still have their O t-shirts, and the guys with the MAGA hats who wear a Trump, like Joy Villa with her the Make America Great Again dress she wore to the Grammys. Now, I mean, I thought it was funny. In some ways, I thought it was cool, because that's like, wearing that shit to the Grammys just is sticking it in someone's eye. But I can't do it. I don't know. Anyway, Paul Joseph Watson, a journalist, traveled to Ilhan Omar's homeland of Somalia to challenge stereotypes and prove the country was beautiful, only to end up being killed by terrorists. Well, I mean, Omar is an American citizen, naturalized legally and whatnot. Now, obviously, the stories that are possibly about how she did that probably need to have some scrutiny on them, or some scrutiny on her. But until there's some proof of her doing something illegal, I'm not, she's innocent until proven guilty. I disagree with just about everything that comes out of her mouth. Let's see. What Trump supporters be like, especially those who trended, "I stand with President Trump. I stand with Ilhan. Because of me, it's now 2019. That's the highest number year ever. Much higher than Obama." That's actually kind of a funny meme. I'm sorry. That's funny. I mean, even if you love Trump, that is such a Trump thing to say. That I do find humor in that. Because of me, it's now 2019, and that's the highest number year ever. Much higher than Obama. Okay, I don't care who you are. That's funny. I'm sorry. My message to the folks who Tran sent her back last night. Real Donald Trump is in court trying to take away your health care. He broke his promise to bring jobs back, and he's making a ton of money off his presidency. Oh my God. He's not. He's probably losing money being president. He donates his salary to the Interior Department. And how did he break his promise to bring jobs back? I'm curious about that. How does the labor participation rate go up as much as it has, unemployment down? Now, granted, I think they're still counting unemployment the way they did during the Obama years, so I take that with a grain of salt. But there are more people working, way more people working now than were when he started office. So the jobs came from somewhere. I can't go by any place in this town without seeing a "we're hiring" sign. You know who really hates America? This asshole. He hates everything the forefathers stood for, Lincoln stood for, and the greatest generation fought for. The only thing he stands for is himself, and racists love him. Oh, aren't you cute? Alrighty then. Let's go on to the next thing because I'm tired of that, man. I'm tired of that. Until she's indicted, I'm taking the immigration fraud accusation with a grain of salt. Yep, I'm kind of like that. You know what? It's possible, and that's funny because the Star Tribune here is the one who put out that article that brought back the idea that she may have married her brother to get here. I want that. It should play out. Maybe it should be investigated. I don't know, but there you go. Number 2 is Thursday Thoughts. Hopefully there's something good here today. I do not think either party is doing enough to care about the growing population that is tired of them both. Each banks just on their base. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you, Mrs. Pinky Thoughts. Thursday Thoughts. If you smile when no one else is around, you really mean it. Andy Rooney. Keep smiling. That's a cute one. The difference 25 years makes. Oh, wow. Laptop. I will tell you this again and again and again. You are enough. You are so incredibly enough. Whoa, that's something crazy there. All right, let's move on. Because I got to get done. Pray for Koyani. That's at the beginning of the show, if you weren't here, at least 33 dead after suspected arson attack at a Japanese animation studio it's a Koyani company in Kyoto, Japan. Warehouse fire, suspected arson, 33 people died. It's really sad. This is the last journal updated on Koyani's website before the incident. Dude was writing about how he's looking forward to harvest the tomatoes they planted on the balcony and preparing for the next anime. Now it's all gone. Literally shedding tears. Very sad. I mean, there's a lot of anime fans who kind of know about that place. I don't know that much about it, but it's a pretty sad situation. All right. After that, Thursday Motivation will skip. Rory. Ooh. Now, if you're into golf at all, David Duval had a bad time on the 7th in the U.S. Open. He hit the wrong ball and ended up posting a 13 on a single hole. Now, if you're into golf, the average hole is a par 4, meaning that you should be able to get into the hole in 4. These guys usually shoot anywhere from, scratch, 0, even par to, sometimes 10, 12, 14 under. Maybe in the U.S. Open, 5 under. This guy scored 7 over on a single hole because he hit the wrong ball. Rory McIlroy made a quadruple bogey on the first hole and triple bogey at the last as his bid for a home Open victory. Oh, this is the British Open, I'm sorry. At Royal Portrush was left in tatters. So he's crushed. He's a great golfer too, but not a good day. All right, moving on. That's why he's trending. NPC 19. Uh-oh. Y'all know what the NPCs are. Wait, what? Maybe we don't. Oh, no. This is the National Principals Conference. Are you kidding me? Is that what this is? I was expecting some blank faces. Thank you, Seguros, for a great NPC 19 thought leader session. Bigotisted. What the hell's a bigotisted? Bigotist takeaway. If a kid leaves school less curious, we have failed them. We need to make the positives so loud that the negatives are almost impossible to hear. Facts. Oh, man. The state of education in the United States. I don't know. But I'm not interested in that hashtag, so we're going to move on. Kyoto Animations, number 7. We know why that's trending. Toxic waste candy prize pack. Why is that trending? Rowena of T of Colorado City, Arizona asks, what's in a toxic waste candy prize pack? Well, Rowena, why is it trending? Is it trending in all caps, just like that? An oasis in a desert of otherwise terrible news, toxic waste candy prize pack, a jolt of joy. Why is this trending? And what does this have to do with it? Some K-pop babes dancing around. Where's Jack Cochran when you need him? This toxic waste candy prize pack is not something in mind at Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Okay, here we go. It's a candy company. Oh, how did toxic waste candy prize pack become the number 8 trending topic? A candy company is giving away a prize pack. The tweet for the contest only has 290 replies, and the company has 3,000 followers. What am I missing? Let's see. Here's the screenshot, if it'll ever come up here. Come on. Okay, there's that. Tweeting number 8. Okay, here we go. Toxic waste candy is a candy company. Contest time. Celebrate our National Sour Candy Day. What the F is National Sour Candy? Oh my God. We are giving away this awesome prize pack. To enter, comment Toxic Waste Candy Prize Pack below. Contest ends at 9 a.m. Eastern, July 19th, which is tomorrow. 1 entry per user. Good luck. Okay, that's why it's trending. And they only have 2,800 followers, but they are growing. All right, that's why. That's some marketing genius right there. Struggled. Oh gosh. So Mark, who's this guy? Mark somebody. Republican Congress Mark Walker said he struggled with the center back chants that targeted Representative Ilhan Omar at the Trump rally Wednesday. So everyone's going to be... Though it was brief, I struggled with the center back chant tonight, referencing Representative Omar. Her history, words, and actions reveal her great disdain for both America and Israel. That should be our focus, and not phrasing that's painful to our friends and the minority communities. All right. Okay, enough of that. Whatever. What else? Derek Mason, no. Who's this? Struggled. Oh, it moved. Everything's just changed. I don't know why Mark's... Okay. Sender back is trending. Oh my God. You know, Trump stood silently through sender back chants at his rally. A coward and a racist. I say he and his GOP boosters and his chanting followers should have the guts to admit their hate. They've shown their true selves. Why fight it? Cowards, every one. Warning to the USA, and the MAGA hat has become the mark of the beast. This is Canadian girl. 10 stages of genocide. Interesting. Let's look at this. Classification. People are divided into us and them, or into 70 different categories that all have 70 different categories that all have oppression points. Symbolization. People are forced to identify themselves. What? You know what's funny? You know who's forcing people to identify themselves? It's certainly not the right. Unless she's talking about the illegal immigrants along the border. Yeah, they're forced to identify themselves because we're supposed to know who's coming into the country. Discrimination. People begin to face systematic discrimination. Nope. Dehumanization. People are equated with animals, vermin, and diseases. Oh, are they going to talk about Trump calling MS-13 animals? Because that's specifically what he was talking about. Organization. The government creates special groups, police, military to enforce the policies. Well, we've had police forever. Polarization. The government broadcasts propaganda to deter the populace against their group. It hasn't been done, has it? I don't know. Well, CNN, I suppose. Preparation, official action to remove, relocate people begins. We haven't done that other than, again, if you're talking about illegal aliens, persecution, beginning of murder. You know what? This is bullshit. We're not preparing any special showers for anybody right now. Good morning, check your logic. Yeah, shut up. You could stay in Canada. We won't miss you. But if you're in Canada and you're listening to me now, I appreciate you. Just this jackass. Anyway, some people who so there are people who send her back. Oh wait, that's Melania. You are a terrorist sympathizer. You ingrate. America took you out of your shithole country and restored you, and that's how you thank America. It's fascinating. She does not have anything good to say about this country, and yet she's been and maybe she has. She explicitly says she loves this country, but I don't know. You know what? She's an American citizen, and more power to her for going through that process and becoming an American. And you know what? It is actually quite the amazing story that this Muslim woman from a country that is just completely gone right now made it here, became a U.S. citizen, got elected to offices locally here in Minnesota, was in the state legislature of Minnesota, and now is in the United States Congress. It should be one of those. It should be a Hallmark card or Hallmark Channel story. You know, they should make a whole movie about this woman who's actually become an American and is able to live the American dream and ends up being a lawmaker. And yet, the problem I have with the Four Horsemen is they complain. That all they do is complain. Have any of them written a single piece of legislation that they've tried to bring up, other than the very sloppily written Green New Deal? That wasn't even a proposal for legislation. It was just this high and mighty, lofty wish list of crap, of economic, for lack of a better word, economic socialism, communism, whatever. Crap. And then the last thing trending that's showing right now is Thursday morning. So let's see if there's anything breaking. Just real quick, I'll hit my home tab. Are y'all using the new Twitter on? My Twitter page just went all off into a totally different mode. A lot of people are complaining about it. I mean, it doesn't bother me that bad. It's just the problem with it is all your tabs that used to be along the top are now along the side. But I don't know that it's terrible. I don't know. I'm not sure. Oh, here's something that Sinatra Says put up on his Twitter feed. Are you an immigrant? Have you felt forced to change your behavior or take new precautions in light of President Trump's racist remark? The fight to add a citizen question to the census. The threat of ICE raids. We'd like to hear from you for a story we're working on. Text, iMessage, or WhatsApp your stories to CNN 347-322-0415. This is CNN. Here's the problem. They're going to take a bunch of stories and they're not going to vet them. They're just going to take the worst. They're going to take the worst stories they can find so that they can put them on. They even had Richard Spencer on the other day. So CNN is so desperate for ratings that they brought on Richard Spencer, kind of hoping that he would be all supportive of Trump's remarks and Trump and whatnot. What's funny is that he kind of said that, Trump doesn't do anything for him, which was kind of perfect. I don't know. But they had Richard Spencer on hoping that he would say something complimentary about Trump just so they'd have the story. What a bunch of dickheads. Let's see. Anything here? Let's go. Let's see what the latest. See if there's any latest news that you should hear about. Okay, shows. All right. Any breaking news going on right now? I'm just scrolling down before I get the hell out of here. Oh, wow. Apparently, there's a couple in Hawaii that almost got washed out to sea despite warnings of staying out of the water in this perfect place. And apparently, they rescued them. You might hear about that today. Let's see. Anything else new? It's not looking like it. I'm just going, oh, wait a minute. Nope, that was... This is, okay, this is the last thing I'm going to show you. So, Jim Acosta tweets out, Congresswoman Omar has denied this and other claims about her as disgusting lies, but Trump was willing to dive right in. So this is when this is so stupid. This guy tweets, President Trump on Representative Ilhan Omar. Apparently she was married to her brother, but I don't know. I know nothing about that. A lot of people are saying that. She was married to her brother. Here's something that was missed, okay? He was asked a question about it, and he responded to the question. Now they're putting on this Snopes fact check. It's kind of funny because Snopes is not ever going to say that she actually did. This is something that's being investigated, and let it be investigated until someone has some facts. I'm not going to say one way or other than the local newspaper, the Star Tribune, which we used to call the Stars, what they used to call it, the Star and Sickle, because it's very, very on the liberal side of the opinion aisle. They brought it back up because now there's questions about it. There's all kinds of questions about her behavior. If they come up with something, fine, then I'll believe it. But the fact that Congresswoman Omar has denied this, well, yeah, and Bill Clinton denied ever having sexual relations with that woman, Ms. Lewinsky. A lot of people deny things that they end up having to recant because they lied. Interesting. U.S. Code 1325, improper entry by alien, marriage fraud. Any individual who knowingly enters into a marriage for the purpose of evading any provision of the immigration laws shall be imprisoned for not more than 5 years or fined not more than $250,000 or both. Yeah, if that happens, well, I guess we'll find out. There's a whole bunch of people talking about it, though. And you know what? Who knows? Anyway. All right, guys. Got to call the day because I have to be somewhere at 11. So thank you so much for coming today. I really appreciate y'all. I know y'all have been talking a lot in the chat, and I kind of been out there. I haven't paid a whole lot of attention today. Just trying to get, trying to get these articles and stuff up. But I hope you had a good time today. I really appreciate you. I'm here Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Oh, shoot. You know what I didn't do? I'm kind of right now with all of these people, I'm kind of FTG to everybody right now because everyone's just playing stupid games. Can we just get a general FTG? In fact, I am just going to do a general FTG myself because just because there's somebody I've talked about today gets an FTG, so I'm throwing one out there. Anyway, I'm here every day, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, 2 p.m. GMT. Please, if you haven't done already, to like or share or down here, like, share, all that good stuff. And if you ever want to support the channel, we do take donations and super chats through the Streamlabs link that are in the bottom of in the description of every one of my streams. And I appreciate all of you who do that. But so we just gotta, y'all. Here's my thing today. Keep your heads up. Go find something beautiful to look at. In fact, if you go on my Twitter feed, you'll notice that I've been posting pictures of the lilies in my garden, because all the lilies are beginning to bloom, and some of them are really. I have some spectacular Asiatic lilies and daylilies, and so if you want to go see something really nice, check out my Twitter feed. I've been putting pictures out there, or you can go on my Instagram. My Instagram is @YesThatMarty. I just posted a few of those yesterday. And but go, instead of taking all the negative and taking that in constantly, every day you got to find something that is beautiful, and I don't mean you have to go far. There is something within your normal scope of travel in the day that is beautiful, and sometimes you just got to stop and find it and look at it and appreciate it. And if you can do that, all this other stuff can at least go away for a second, and it'll be good for your soul. So on that note, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you guys. Tomorrow's Friday. I'm going to try to have a guest tomorrow. We'll see how my computer's working. And again, for chat, thanks for being here. Thanks for participating. If you're just out there lurking, I appreciate you too for watching. My name is Dawg Knight, and I am out of here. Bye-bye. Hey, this is Dawg Knight, and I want to thank you for joining me today on the Dawg Knight channel. Before you go, if you like what you saw and you're not already subscribed, please make sure that you hit the subscribe button down below, and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, and 2 p.m. GMT. A special thanks to all supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through our Streamlabs link in the description below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm Dawg Knight, and I'm out of here.